Hi, and welcome back to the Truly Kenya podcast. If you are listening to us on your favorite podcast platforms, thank you. Like, subscribe. If you are a visual person, you're probably watching us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share there also. So this week, I have an exciting guest. Exciting for me because after the divorce, this was the first podcast that I agreed to do. Um, and her name is T. Goodwin. Very good podcast that she has called Purposely Bossing Up. And she's also the CEO, the founder of Divine Connections, which is a brand and marketing company. So, also a public speaker. So, T's doing it all. Okay. But today we're going to have a conversation and maybe you guys will get something out of it. I want you to go and follow and be supportive because she's really, really doing uh, good work out there in terms of podcasting, interviewing, all of it. So go follow her. Hi, T.
Hey, hey, hey. I'm super excited about this.
Oh, I'm excited too. So I know you've been busy because you've been traveling.
Busy, busy.
And how was Essence this year? Because you were there front and center.
Yes, yes, ma'am, I was. It was a game changer. I have been using that word since I came back. I said,
Really?
if I did not go, I would have missed out on so many opportunities. Just being able to connect with so many women
Hmm.
in the Black and Brown community, and even men, because it was men down at Essence as well. And it was just like a family reunion. Just a whole bunch of cousins all got together, and it was just a great time seeing, all the different vendors and the different paths they have at the convention center, whether it was mental health or the Disney area
Yeah.
or the main stage. It was just a lot. It was overwhelming, but it
Wow.
was still a good time. It was
Wow.
definitely a good time.
And you were there on a media pass, correct?
Absolutely.
So did you get access to any of our favorites or your favorites or any surprises for us?
Um, I got some good access. I
Okay.
had a silver pass, which is basically the daytime events,
Okay.
which was fine by me because we went to a lot of independent events as
Yeah.
well that weren't, necessarily sponsored by Essence. But just being able to see some of my favorite reality TV stars and just being able to talk to them for a little
Yeah.
bit, and then just walking around and meeting people who like your Jay Bolins and
Right.
all of them, like just being able to finally connect with them after connecting with them on social media. It's just
Right.
like, oh my goodness, we're
Yes.
literally in the same room together.
Yeah.
Like, so it
Ah.
was just a good time.
Well, it looked like you were having a lot of fun. You had a lot of really good content from
Yeah.
Essence, and
Mhm.
I'm glad it's back. After COVID, it sounds like it looked like it was back in full swing, like COVID never happened.
Yes, it was, and we're really really excited about next year. The dates have already been confirmed,
Oh wow.
and we are preparing for next year. They're actually going to be celebrating their 30th year next year,
Oh
so it's going to be a big deal.
yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a big deal. Now,
Yes,
you are the host of Purposely Bossing Up. And
yes.
when did you start that podcast?
I actually started the podcast 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Literally like right before COVID hit.
Hmm.
And it was just something that I felt like I should be doing. I, of course, prayed about it because
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm not about to go into this media industry and mess it up.
Hmm.
So I said, let me
Right.
pray about this.
Hmm.
And it has taken off since then. In the beginning, I was just doing, interviews, and it didn't matter who you were. You can be a super dad or a super mom
Hmm.
all the way up to a serial entrepreneur. So it really didn't matter where you were. I just wanted to have those authentic conversations where people are being super transparent and showing up as their best selves. You go on social media and you see people who put on a front. And then when you meet them in real life, you like, ugh, that
Mm.
really wasn't you on Instagram the other day.
Yeah.
So it was great to just, have these conversations with amazing people. And it's just have taken off since then.
So, you had any experience with podcasting before you started yours?
Absolutely not.
Really?
I have experience in talking.
Ah,
I have experience in talking. When I was in college, people used to always call me the. I went to Westchester University here in PA,
yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, you're like the Westchester Wendy Williams," because I feel like you just be knowing everything, and I just be like, "I really don't," but whatever you say. And then
I'll
it
take
kind of
it.
like doing back on me. I was having a conversation with one of my sisters, and she was like, "You should start a podcast," and I was like, "Well, what should it be called?" And she was like, I was like, I definitely wanted to have something with purpose in it because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everything I do is purpose driven. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like things that people do should be purpose driven.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, okay, let's think about it. And then that's when we came up with Purposely Bossing Up. And that's how it all went.
And are you focused on entrepreneurs? You do a lot of
Oh,
entrepreneurship.
I
Yeah, yeah.
know. And I always get a lot of women. I always
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of women, and I love talking to the guys
Yes.
because the mindset is so different.
So
Like the
different.
perspective is so different.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh my goodness, I want people to pitch more guys because I love talking to the fellas. But I love talking to the ladies as well. But yeah, I love talking to people who are entrepreneurs. I mean, that's the biggest thing
Mm-hmm.
on social media. And people will say, oh, I made six figures, and I drive this Rolls Royce or I live in this mansion, but nobody wants to talk about what happened prior to that. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you had to sleep in your car,
Right.
whether you had to stay with your mom and dad, or whatever the circumstance may have been. So, I just provide my platform to be able to talk about those kind of things.
What has been your the, like looking back, is there
Hmm.
anything in terms of you starting the podcast and where you are with it today? Were there any mistakes or something, anything that you would do differently that you could tell maybe people that are thinking about starting a podcast?
Yes, figure out who you really want to talk to. In the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, when I put out that I was starting a podcast and that if anybody wanted to be a guest, I received 165 emails.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, hell no, I cannot go into any future seasons with all of this.
Yes.
So, what I started doing was curating different themes for the month. And that's how I was able to kind of vet the individuals that would send me emails
Yes.
because it used to be crazy. It
Yeah.
used to be crazy. I said, no, 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 no. We
Mm-hmm.
can't do this. I have to focus in. And when I focus in, then it's better for me, especially for
Yes.
my mental health, because
Yeah.
that was just overwhelming.
So, but now, and then you also, so, okay, so before podcasting, were you in, because I know that you have Divine Connections, which is a
Mhm.
branding and marketing company. So you're, are
Yes.
you coming from branding and marketing? And if so, was
Mhm.
that helpful or did you get into branding and marketing because of the podcast?
So how it all started was I actually am a event planner by like that was the first choice. I left my
Oh,
corporate job to fulfill my event planning business full
okay.
time, right?
Okay.
I did that and I had already been kind of like doing event planning, just like, at the church or for a relative or
Yes.
whatever the case may be. And I said, I'm gonna start doing this so I can make some money since y'all don't want to pay me, right? So I said, okay, let me go ahead and do this event planning business. And that's how Events to the T started. So
Mm.
I was doing that, but while I was doing that, I was actually designing all of my clients' things. So I was doing their invitations, their backdrops, all of those kind of things, which kind of helped me with brand identity because people think that you have to have a business in order to create a branding experience. And that's not the case.
Mm.
You celebrating the 50th birthday, it has a theme, it has colors and all of that. So that's how I kind of like got into like the whole branding thing. So I started off doing like little logos and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then people was like, you're really, really good at this. And I should have listened to my mom years and years ago when she put a computer in front of my face at the age of 8 years old and was like, you're going to be great using this computer. And look what I'm doing now,
And
right?
you are, right.
So as I got older, I said, you know what? I don't kind of want to do the events as much anymore, but I'll, find a niche in events. So I
Mm-hmm.
started doing more networking, conferences,
Mm.
seminars, workshops, those kind of things. But now it's just a luxury service or I'm doing it for myself. So I don't advertise it as much, but
Yes.
my branding, that is what I love most. I love getting to understand people's businesses, their brands, why
Really?
they're doing it, and helping them bring those visuals
Yeah.
that help them promote their brand.
So, okay, has anyone brought you a business that they
Hmm.
needed some branding, some help with,
Hmm.
and you're like, yeah, of course I'm gonna help you, but you're really thinking this shit is going nowhere. This little company is going nowhere, not because of a bad idea, but because you don't know what you're doing. I mean,
Facts.
I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, and you are,
I've had several. I've had
really?
several.
So,
Mhm.
in a situation like that, do you then say, hey, why don't you da 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 da? Or you just
Mhm.
do what you're paid to do and be like, good luck to you. May God bless you.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm. I tell them they need to be stopped. I tell them you have to stop. Like I feel like a lot of people also create businesses because somebody else is doing it and they feel like they should be an entrepreneur. I
Mhm.
tell people all the time, everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. That's
That's facts.
it's not for the weak at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I do this is why consultations are so important because we get to talk about why you're in business, why you're doing the business. Is the business really supposed to happen or is it not supposed to happen? Is it even time for you to start a business right now? It might
Mhm.
not even be the right time. So
Mhm.
I've actually talked a few people out of being an entrepreneur,
Mhm. Mhm.
actually. And some of them, I'm like, well, you have other gifts that you can help maybe with somebody else in their business. It might not necessarily be you having a business. You can help somebody else on the journey. So yeah, yeah. And even people who came to me with like visuals. God came to me and told me that it's supposed to be X, Y, and Z in this logo or on this Instagram account. And I just be like,
No, you like
really?
God. Did you show God what you did? God is
Like,
not
really? Is
happy.
that
This
what he
is not what he had in
said?
mind. Okay, not these visuals right here. Okay, now.
I'm like, really? Is that what he said? Okay. Well, let's see. But I'm like, well, the vision I had for this is going this way. It's not going your way.
Right.
It's going my way.
But what comes across is that, and I'm wondering that you are a mentor. Like it seems
Mhm.
like you don't mind sharing your information, what you
Yeah.
know, helping. It doesn't seem like you are at all intimidated by other
Mm-mm.
people and what they may be doing. And so, did you have good mentors? Because I haven't come across a lot of people,
Hmm.
especially from our community,
Right.
for me, that were like offered to be in a mentor situation or
Hmm.
even like really helpful, if that
Right.
makes sense. And I don't, like, I mean, people have been supportive, but people in position that could have been like, I didn't really come across that. I had to get that outside of our community. So
Yeah.
hearing you speak, um, sounds like that you have been able to help other people and been more than willing to share your gifts
I've
and
been doing
insight.
this for a long time.
Wow.
When I was younger, my mom actually had her own tutoring service. Well, one, I used to hate it because my mom worked at my elementary school. That was the first thing.
Ha.
And then she had her own tutoring business.
Hmm.
So I was literally tutoring children that were in the same school as me. Like it was
Oh,
crazy. Like
yes,
I
yes,
might be in the fourth grade, they might be in the third grade.
yes.
So I was always big on assisting others and
Hmm.
just being better.
Right.
Whether it's in school, whether it's in business,
Yeah.
whether it's just in life,
Hmm.
because I've even ran after school programs and taught in the
Oh,
school
wow.
district. So I've
Hmm.
always encountered children, especially underserved children.
Hmm.
So it's like, you never know who you may be
Hmm.
to that individual, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a disciplinarian, a
Right.
counselor, a therapist, I've been it all,
Okay.
so I always tell people like, people tell me information, but then it becomes knowledge when I share it with somebody else.
Yeah. So because of your mother and your experience as a tutor and watching her help others, it sounds like you didn't know anything but to share what you know,
Yes.
the information.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I
Yep.
love that. And so when it comes to,
That is
yeah.
exactly how it was.
And then okay, so then when it comes to divine create what is it? I'm sorry.
Connections.
Divine
Mm-hmm.
connections. What okay, if I brought my business there, you're going to help me, depending on what we talk about, but you're going to help me
Mm-hmm.
with the branding component.
Yes.
And where is the connect? Like, are you also in branding relationships, like helping these companies, with brand deals? I don't know if you're in that part of it or branding just, let me get your name out there. Let me get your look right. Let me.
Yeah. So basically, what it is, they come to me in a mess sometimes, because
Yeah.
sometimes they're far off than closer than I want them to be.
Yes.
And what they do is that, like I said, we have our consultation, we talk about it,
Yes.
and we discuss what people should be seeing. Okay, who is your target audience, target market, all of that jazz, right? And then I basically build out what it may be, a photo shoot, a video shoot,
Right.
product, images, anything from scratch, from the bottom up. And
Right.
what it is that I know that I'm a visionary and I know I can't do it by myself.
Mm.
And I surround myself with all the individuals I may need, whether it's photographer, videographer, makeup artist,
Right.
stylist, people who specialize in flat lay. I mean,
Right.
it's just a plethora of
Yes.
people, and everybody's not local, which makes it even better because all my
Mm.
clients aren't from here.
Yes.
So just putting those pieces together. So when I came up with the name the Divine Connections, I felt like everything I did had to be divine, like it
Mm-hmm.
had to be great, right? But the connections part is, if it's something that I cannot do, I'm always going to connect you with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to make sure that you're ready for the connection, though, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a gatekeeper,
Yes.
but I am a person who will give you a resource or a contact when I feel like you're ready,
You right.
because some
Right.
people are just not ready for it
Right.
yet.
Right.
So that's where the connections part come in. So I'm always connecting individuals with other individuals, but
Mm-hmm.
then including myself too, because I learn from others as well.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing about that is, although you have connections, I think it is smart that you are making sure they are ready, because what you don't want
Hmm.
is to refer a bunch of people or even one person to a connection, and that connection's time was wasted because the person
Yeah,
wasn't ready. Because what happens
exactly.
is when Johnny comes along who's ready, ready, the connection
Hmm.
may be like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? And he was ready. So I get that. I get that. I'm like that when it comes to, um, not like I've done many, but this year I did 3 interns. There are three
Okay.
people that college kids that I knew were ready. I knew were
Hmm.
ready. One of them wanted to be in a law firm. One of them wanted to be with in fashion,
Hmm.
and one of them wanted is like social work, labor. Like
Okay.
you unions and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So it worked out. They each got what they wanted, and they're with really,
Mm.
really, really good people. But they're
Yeah.
all ready and ready for the challenge, and they're
Yes.
all out there making me good look good, honestly. So when I come back and be like, "Hey, remember I referred so and
Hmm.
so, and she was great.
Hmm.
Trust me," and they're more willing
Yep.
to trust. And so I understand not being a gatekeeper, but still, making sure people are ready.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
gatekeeping is real out here.
Yeah, it is real. It is real. So, okay, with divine connections, where do you want that to go? Are you happy with where it is right now, or do you have a bigger plan for it? Not saying that the
My
plan you have is not big and whatever.
right.
I'm just asking if you have
Oh
a
no,
different
there
plan.
are bigger plans,
Okay.
okay? Because I eventually want to get into more commercial.
Oh,
So I be in the inbox of other creative directors
yeah.
and figuring out how I can get on set. Like, listen,
Right.
I want to help. I don't care if I come with an iPad and a
Yes.
pen.
Yes.
I just want to be able to be in that space to learn from other people. And be able to, grow my network. And
Mhm.
then it might be somebody that may need that I know.
Right.
So I just been, that's my biggest thing, to be commercial, but even to transition into a production company.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, all right, so we're manifesting
Yep.
that as you are turning into a production company, that
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. And what I think is, so I'm not good at it, but what I think it sounds like you've already mastered is reaching out to people you don't know.
Correct.
You know
I
what I mean?
slides in the DM.
Oh, I love that.
Hmm.
I have so much to learn and to work toward. I could never do that. I could never do that.
Slide right in there.
Do
Like,
they?
whoop.
Okay, what happens if they don't respond?
They just don't respond.
Oh,
Eventually they'll see it.
oh. Well,
They'll
I
see it.
I do have a secret, but I'm gonna share. I've been DMing 50 Cent every day for 4 months to come on my freaking podcast.
Shut up.
Yeah, I have. Now, he ain't never responded. So I like to tell myself he hasn't seen it. Because if he
Yeah,
saw it,
that's
like
all.
at this point, I'm just damn near begging. Okay? You don't need my little audience. I know it. But we're going to have a great conversation. You can bring the baby mama, you can bring the girlfriend. I don't care who you come with.
Whoever you want.
Whoever you want. Where you want me to come. Where you want me to come. Okay? Yes. He has not responded to me yet, but I'm going to keep sending those DMs.
He's going to respond eventually.
Yeah, you
He's
know
going to be
what
like,
the
who is
response?
this lady?
No, he's going to be like, bitch, I think you are so crazy. I think you are so batshit crazy. Please do not DM me again. Yes.
He's going to respond. He is. And the crazy part about it is that he's really not the biggest interviewer. So very few people have interviewed him. Did you see his interview with Mary J when she had her little show?
Yes, I saw that. But I've seen
Yeah,
him in
like he doesn't
Bigwood,
interview
Big
much.
Boy
So
and
this
stuff.
would
Yeah,
be 50 Cent if you watching.
I
He waiting
know.
for you.
I am. And I'm a good, this is a safe space 50. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to talk to the
Mm-hmm.
camera. This is a safe space 50. Whatever you don't want to talk about, we ain't going to talk about. But
Nope.
we're going to have a good conversation. I promise you, it will be one of your better interviews, like in terms of conversation, because I am me. But yeah,
Yeah.
so he needs to respond
Period.
to me at some point. But if not, I'll just keep sending him.
As you should.
Yeah, but I think I should have started off maybe lower of a person, like status wise, because he maybe has made me feel like the rejection of,
Mm,
you know what I mean? Maybe that is
hmm.
messing with me mentally. But I just love the
No,
fact that you
I
can
know what that feels like.
reach
I know
out.
what that feel like too.
Yeah.
Sending emails and
Yes.
nobody responds
Oh.
back. They don't even acknowledge they got the email. I hate that. Like, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Mm-mm.
Would you
Mm.
prefer a response to say, "Oh, thank you so much for your email or your DM or your email," but at this time, would you prefer something like that?
Yes, I want them to tell me.
Mm,
I want them to tell me. Like,
yes.
tell me you got my email.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
remember one time I reached out to who was it? Sarah Jakes. I reached
Yeah.
out to Sarah Jakes one time, and her, I guess her publicist or manager
Yes.
responded back and was like, thank you, Tiana, your podcast seems great, da da da. But at this current time, she's touring, so she
Yes.
won't be able to, pick that
Oh,
designated
yes.
day that you had. See, I respect that.
Yes.
Thank you.
I respect that too.
We will circle back another time.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
let me ask you, who is your dream guest?
Oprah.
Really? Thin Oprah or bigger
Oprah.
Oprah?
Now, Oprah. I respect Big Oprah though, because she came a long way.
Right. She paved the way
She
for a
came a
lot of us.
long way.
Yes. Yes.
I would love to talk to Oprah. And then right after her is Auntie Michelle. I gotta talk to Aunt Michelle.
Oh, really? Oh, you
Hmm.
went way up there. Okay.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay.
You
Okay.
gotta dream big.
Right.
You
No,
gotta
okay.
dream
So,
big.
okay. So I am manifesting. Yes, I am going to keep DMing 50, and he is coming on to my
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes, he is.
And right, just like he may come on after Oprah and Aunt Michelle come on to yours. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
they're going to be on our podcast.
That's right.
You know what I
They are
mean?
going to be on here.
Now, are there any guests that you have turned away? So are you good? Like you want people to respond when you
Hmm.
send, if they could do it or not. Are you good at
Right.
responding? Like even
Hmm.
if you don't want or you can't,
Absolutely.
you good?
Hmm. Yeah.
Ah.
Sometimes I tell people, your guest is not a good fit.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's why I want people when they send pitches to
Yeah.
send a good pitch, because that's how I'm going to either feel the good
Yes.
energy, or I'm going to feel like you're just doing it because you need placements for your client.
Yes. Yes. And I
I
don't
always
think
encourage
people
people
know.
go online, listen to the podcast, go on social media, see the Instagram live so you can see what the conversation is going to be about. People
Right.
send me all these long ass talking points. No, these are my talking points. We're going to talk about what I want to talk about. Okay.
I reached out to someone, I'm not gonna say who. They
Hmm.
okay, but they're not an A-lister. Okay, so
Okay.
it's not like a Michelle, an Oprah. They're not even a B-lister, but
Hmm.
they have so many requirements. Okay, so
Mm.
many. Like I almost, honestly, I almost felt like they want to control the whole show.
Oh no.
You know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? And
Mm.
if you if you are 50 Cent and you're saying to me, I want to see whatever the, the title, I want to see all the footage
Hmm.
before you put it out.
Right.
Okay, do you know what I mean?
Right.
Respect.
Hmm.
But I don't know if you can do that if you are, I don't know, at the bottom of the alphabet. I think it's unfair. I think it's an unfair request. I
It
do.
is.
You know,
Yeah,
I
it
do.
is very unfair.
You know, so I don't know. I don't know.
People have the nerve.
I know. And it's
They-
like we equal, okay? You equal, but I do think that I do like a real conversation,
yes.
and like I do try to practice this is safe. Like seriously, if you say you
Hmm.
don't want to talk about something, we don't have to go there.
Right. Hmm.
And I'm never going to put anything out on anybody that's going to make them look bad or crazy
Yeah.
unless that's what
Exactly.
they want to portray, right? But
Right.
I'm never a gotcha. You know what I mean? I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun. I
Yes.
want to laugh. I want to ask you some questions. Do you know what I mean? I'm an open book. If you want to feel like you want to jump in and ask me some questions, you can
Right.
do that too. You know what I mean? So, all right. So our dream guests are 50 for
Hmm.
me and Oprah and Michelle
Yes.
for you. Now,
Yes,
Oprah may
ma'am.
come with Gail. Gail's a good time, I think.
Listen, I'll take both of y'all. It don't even matter. We can meet at your house. We can go to your house and drink tea and biscuits. We can do it all, okay? I don't care. If they tell me that Oprah is in Jamaica, I will buy
Yes.
airline ticket at my own expense, okay?
Yes.
Like, I don't care. I don't
Yes.
care.
You know who you should reach out? Do you reach out as media for some of the festivals that may come through Pennsylvania?
Hmm.
Do you think that they are open to you?
Sometimes they are,
Okay.
sometimes they're not. Sometimes they mix out like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, and then some people don't even crazy part is they don't even have media. And it was like surprising. Like
I
even
think
when
a
we were at
lot of
Essence.
them don't. That's why I was
Yeah,
asking.
we
Hmm.
were at Essence and the girl was like, you're actually one of the first people who even reached out in regards to doing press and media for our event. And we were the only press and media at their event.
So did they give you
So
access?
yes.
Well, I think that that is great because I always
Yeah.
think I'm going to reach out to some of these festivals that are in
Yes.
countries I want to go to. You know, like they have a lot of really good jazz festivals and R&B festivals in Mexico and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, make it a trip. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yes, because
Girl,
I don't think
girl,
they
just
have.
go.
Yeah,
Just go.
that may be
That's
my
why I
only one.
wanted. That's where the shift happened. Because if not, I'll just be still interviewing just people on my platform. When I decided that I was going to pitch myself as a
Yes,
media platform, that just opened up a whole nother can of worms. I
yes,
was like, oh shit, this is
yes,
where it's at.
yes.
Okay. You just never know. I always tell people I had stalked Moni Slaughter people for so long.
Yeah,
I'm like, I want to interview her because, it might have been Mental Health Awareness Month or whatever the case it may be. And they were like, oh, she's not available or she's filming or whatever the case
yeah.
may be. And then next thing I knew, one of my girlfriends who are publicists out of DC hit me up
Yeah.
and was like, T, can you come down to DC and do some media coverage for this event that I'm having? It was called like something with like music and food. So they were just talking about, how food can correlate with music, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
And guess who was the keynote guest?
Moniece Slaughter from Love and Hip Hop for you people that may not know. You are kidding. Look at God. Look at
I
God.
said, see, this is why now
Yeah.
I said, I don't care if people say no, because guess what? We may circle back.
Right.
We may circle back. I
Yes.
did my interview with her in the women's bathroom. Okay.
Really?
Because all these people who came as media stuff wore her out. And I get it. After you're talking at an event, she performed like
Yes.
3 songs. And then all these people wanted to talk to her. She hadn't eaten, all this other stuff. My girlfriend took us in the bathroom and locked the door. And I did my interview in the bathroom.
What? Those are good stories. Make sure that and I'm not saying everybody needs to write or whatever, but what a
Oh, yeah.
good story.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You just never know. You
Yeah, but I
never
guess
know.
you always have to be ready also. So,
Yep.
do you see I just went black? Something just
Yeah.
okay. He just came in. We're almost finished. Okay. He's putting the lights back on. Oh, oh boy. Oh, I'm sitting still for too long. There it is. And we're back.
You just got to move your hand
I
like,
know. I know. Okay. So, wow. So that was a good experience. Is that one of the
Hmm.
craziest? It sounds crazy to me, but I think it is a good experience. Was
Yeah.
that one of the craziest kind of
Yeah, I guess
situations you've
like for
had?
interview location,
Yeah.
yes, for
S-
sure,
So are you
for
just
sure.
walking around with a recorder? Like that recorder thing? Are
No,
you?
at the time I was using my cell phone. It was crazy, right? At that time I was just using my cell phone. My girlfriend came to take pictures and stuff, so she
Yeah.
was able to kind of like do some
Yes.
pictures and a little bit of audio, a little bit. But yeah, girl, that sound bite was the most important thing I needed. That was all I needed.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. Well, hey, I love it. I love that you are proactive. I love that you are not sitting around waiting. I love the fact that you
Mm.
are open and willing to help others,
Yes,
especially if they're paying. I'm sure, y'all can't expect everything for free, but I love
period.
your platform.
Thank
And
you.
I don't know. I think that, just in our conversation, you've been a motivation to me to just get out there and start DMing more people than 50 Cent.
Yes, girl.
Okay.
Slide all the way in the DM, okay?
But
Slide in there. And
what?
anybody you want to know, I might have a contact for 'em. So just ask
Yeah.
me.
And no matter when 50 does respond to me, because he will, I don't care what he says. I don't care if he
No, he
says
is.
crazy bitch
Mhm.
or I'm coming on. I'm gonna read the text word for word. So don't text me no crazy, crazy stuff, 50, because I'm gonna read the people what you DM'd me back.
Yes.
But I'm gonna read it. But yeah. Well, please keep in touch. Go tell the
You
people
know
where
I
they can,
will.
yeah, where they can follow you.
So everybody can follow me on Instagram at the Tiana Experience. Is a lot. So as soon as you type in THETIJ, it's going to show right up.
Great.
And then you can do at purposely Bossin, Bossin, no G,
Hmm.
on Instagram as well. And then you can find Purposely Bossin up streaming on all podcast platforms from iTunes all the way up to iHeartMedia.
And if you have events that are media worthy, if you're around Pennsylvania,
Yes.
is there
Yep.
anywhere?
Hmm.
Okay. You can also DM her and see if she's interested in covering your event. How about that?
Yep. We
Okay.
do New York all the way down to Atlanta. I had some correspondents there. I have a correspondent in Houston. So yeah,
Great.
we out here.
Okay. So, purposely bossing up, a person purposely bossing up is out there. They in these streets, okay?
We in the streets.
Yeah. So, thank you so much, T, for your time. I really
Thank
appreciate the
you.
conversation. Please stay in touch.
You know I will.
Good. I'm so happy for you, and I love what you're doing. I love it.
I'm happy for you and I'm glad you did it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching the Truly Kenya podcast or listening. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. And with that, I'd like to say bye. See you next Tuesday. Bye.